Chapter 2, Part 6. We're going to go into quite a number of videos because we still have a third segment. Okay, motion. Better description I'm going to say is here. So this particular piece, this guy has got an amazing documentary done on him on Netflix. Shoot, I think it's called The Staircase something. I should have checked that out. But anyway, he does these beautifully timed fireworks that sort of explode, not always in the air, sometimes they're on the ground as well. But he's Chinese, and he grew up in a part of China that has, manufactures fireworks. So he was able to work with some masters who set up fireworks and figure out how these things would work in the sky. And they're not always black, but he does all these different things. Beautiful. So in this case, time and motion are really important for this work because it's not going to exist for a long time. So this artwork moves and changes in time, is not fixed in form. So this is a work that is, you could call it installation and you can almost call it performance, but it's really, it's also kinetic work. So it kind of works in a lot of different ways, but it's only going to exist for a few minutes. I mean, maybe an hour where everything's all blended together, but the intent is for it to look about like what you're seeing. So a lot of times what happens is there's photographs or videos that exist of the work. Now, that does not mean it is video art. It still would be a kinetic or performance or installation piece. Okay, so motion, this thing is moving. Time, this isn't going to last. All right, so now these two particular pieces are really amazing because they're carved out of a cave. They're live rock. And these are two places I really want to go. I haven't been there. I've been to India, but I didn't go to these. Wasn't aware of them when I went. But these are amazing, where you can't grasp everything in one instant. So you have to move through it, and they unfold as you move through it. Now, these are both. Well, this is a Buddhist cave here, and this one, the Ajanta cave, is also, I believe it's Buddhist. But the idea is that your eyes adjust in the darkness, if that makes sense, and over time you start to understand what you're seeing, and that has to do with the religious experience. That's the idea behind it, is that you only understand certain concepts over a certain long period of meditation or study. There went my book. My cat is on the desk. Okay, so the idea is that you move through this sculptural space and you start to understand what you're looking at as you go through it. Okay, so visual terms, but other senses certainly. Now, I'm going to say this, though, for your writing, don't write about sound and smell and touching, okay? Not, maybe tactile is okay. But if you go to something that's mostly music-based, or when I show you videos and you're talking about the music or some other things, that isn't what we're writing about. We're really only writing and considering the visual aspect. But there's a lot of film and video and digital work that have sound components and a lot of other things, okay? Now, we have, he has got explosions. Kai Gu Kwang's explosions are loud, of course, but you really want to be writing about the visuals. Okay, so one sort of let's see, let me how to explain it. These work as an art object in terms of the Western world. Like, we have gone to Africa as colonials and so on and taken these objects and shown them in the museum, and that's how we think of them. But that's not how they were intended. Their original intent was to be put on during certain ceremonies, and this is true of many cultures, that in that time these objects have a certain power, and it's just through the celebration and ritual. So the masks are not static sculptures. They're not meant to be put on a shelf and admired in that way. They're meant to be part of a performance piece. And I wouldn't call them costumes. I would say it's a little bit more important than that. So the whole performance is what the art object is. That's my point. Okay, so we're talking about chance and improvisation and spontaneity. Alan Capro is a really interesting artist. I participated in an ice sculpture that we made and melted. It was really fun in Pasadena about 10 years ago. But his stuff is about um, change and like, everybody kind of getting in a group and working on a piece, and then it's going to take a different sort of a direction, perhaps depending on the group of people. So that's a bit of the spontaneity and improvisation. And also with this cloud, now how it had been windy or raining or whatever, maybe he wouldn't have done it, but maybe he would have done it and just let that be part of the piece and change it. Okay, so a little bit of chance going on there. Okay.